They call me Jenny. And what I'm about to share isn't just a story. It's a warning. Ready? Let's begin. They say kids grow out of imaginary friends. They don't tell you what to do when the friend refuses to let go. I used to believe only in what I could touch. Shingles, gutters, a leaky roof. But my daughter's imaginary boyfriend changed that. Now, I sleep with the lights on, if I sleep at all. I was doing dishes after dinner, hot water, soap, the smell of garlic still hanging in the air. Lily sat at the table swinging her legs, humming softly. She was 7. Blonde curls, big eyes, jelly sandwiches without crusts. Daddy. Yeah, sweetie. Do you want to meet my boyfriend? I laughed. Boyfriend? You're a little young for that. She grinned. He says age doesn't matter. I stopped scrubbing. Who says? Peter, she answered plainly. He plays with me. Says he's gonna marry me when I turn 8. Imaginary friend. Cute, right? Except that night I heard whispering, and it didn't sound like Lily's voice. I'd find her dolls moved. Furniture shifted. Once, every doll she owned was sitting in the bathtub, all of them facing the door like they were expecting someone. Peter likes to redecorate, she told me. Another night, music drifted from her room. Not lullabies. Not from her tablet. A music box melody. Delicate. Haunting. We don't own a music box. She sat cross-legged, smiling at the corner. Peter's showing me what he looks like. I asked her to describe him. He's really tall. Taller than the ceiling. But he bends down to talk to me. It started with a drawing taped to the fridge. Lily in her yellow bunny dress, holding hands with a towering black figure. No face. No arms. Just long jagged fingers. Its head an oval with carved out slashes where eyes shouldn't be. Above them, red streaks falling like bleeding rain. Who's this? I asked. She beamed. That's me and Peter. We're playing outside. And the red lines? Sky scratches, she said cheerfully. Peter gets them when he's happy. The drawings multiplied. In her backpack. Under her pillow. Taped inside her closet. Peter. Reaching across her bed. Peering through my window. Standing over me while I slept. One drawing showed my room. Every detail right. Even the crack in the ceiling. I was asleep. Peter's hand hovered inches from my face. And in the corner, written in crayon, Peter says he likes you. Why did you draw that one of me sleeping? He told me to. Why does he want you to draw him? She shrugged. He says pictures make things realer. Then she added with a giggle. He thinks you look silly when you snore. That night I woke at 3:12 a.m. No dream, just awake. The air felt wrong. My bedroom door wide open. Darkness thicker than dark. And something tall slipping out of sight. I started recording her room at night. A baby monitor with motion detection. 2:44 a.m. The door creaked open on its own. No wind. No sound. Her blanket slid off. Something indistinct moved at the foot of her bed. The footage glitched. When it returned, the bed was empty. I ran. Found her curled in the corner. Eyes wide. He took me to the inside-out place, she whispered. I begged her to explain. All she said was, Peter has a place. It's quiet there. No skin, no sound, no time. I told her Peter had to go. She screamed. He doesn't like when people say he's not real. That's when he gets messy. I burned the drawings. Tossed the nightlight. Salted the windows. That night I heard her whispering again. I stood outside her door. Please don't make me. I'll be good. Don't hurt Daddy. I burst in. She was alone. Tears down her face. He doesn't like you anymore. 3 nights ago. I dozed on the couch. Humming woke me. Lily's voice. I looked up. She was standing on the ceiling. Upside down. Eyes rolled back. Humming something ancient and slow. Behind her. Something moved in the corner. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't move. Just watched. Then she collapsed. Caught her. Held her shaking frame. She whispered. He says you saw him. Now you have to come too. We left the house. I grabbed Lily, packed what I could and ran. Now we live in a cheap motel. She hasn't said a word since. Sometimes she smiles in her sleep. Sometimes she whispers, but it's not her voice anymore. I used to think imaginary friends faded. But Peter doesn't fade. He follows. He waits. And he wants. Lily turns 8 in 3 days. She says the wedding is soon. There's something in the motel mirror. It's tall, black, featureless. It bends when I look at it. And tonight, it smiled. We don't age like other people. My grandmother was 98 when she died, but you'd swear she wasn't a day over 65. My great-uncle, 102, still chopped his own firewood, still walked without a cane. Everyone said it was good genes, and maybe that's what I believed too, until I inherited the house, until I found the recipe, until I opened the pantry. Grandma rose past in her sleep, peaceful, serene. The old farmhouse came to me, her only grandchild with roots still nearby. The place smelled like cedar, dust, and 1,000 memories. I was clearing out her study when I found it, tucked in the back of a drawer beneath yellowed maps and brittle newspaper clippings. A book, hand-bound in cracked leather, its cover worn smooth from generations of hands. Inside, in faded ink, family recipes. I flipped straight to the renewal stew, our family's sacred tradition. Dark, savory, served at every solstice, equinox, and funeral. But the recipe page? Blank. Only 2 lines in thin, spidery handwriting. For the broth, see the cellar instructions. For the seasoning, see the attic instructions. My heart thudded. Curiosity bloomed darker than it should have. The cellar smelled like cold dirt and wet stone. Cobwebs clung to my face. The light bulb above flickered like it wanted to stay dead. Behind a stack of canning jars, I found it, a loose stone in the foundation wall. Pulled it free, and the hidden chamber breathed at me. 12 unglazed clay pots lined the back wall, each filled with dark, peaty soil, each holding a pale, gnarled root that slithered out of the dirt like a hand reaching up. A journal rested nearby. Its pages were brittle, ink smudged by time. Entries dated back to 1856. They called it planting. No graves, no cremation. When a family member died, they were prepared, placed in these pots. And over time they grew. The life root, boiled for 3 days, became the broth of the renewal stew. I dropped the journal. My stomach twisted. We weren't eating stew. We were drinking the dead. The attic groaned as I climbed. Smelled like cedar chests, old quilts, and rot buried beneath lavender sachets. In a locked trunk, I found a velvet pouch. Inside, silver boxes, each engraved with a name. Every living family member had one, including me. My name looked freshly etched. I opened mine. A small obsidian knife. Cold, sharp, light as breath. Another journal lay beneath the velvet. This one newer, tidy, precise. It described the seasoning. Not salt, not herbs. A living contribution. A few drops of blood. A sliver of fingernail. A single tear cried into the pot. This is what awakens the stew. This is what binds the living to the dead. I shut the box. And I ran. Autumn equinox arrived. The family called. Coming home. Grandma would have wanted it. We'll save you a bowl. I lied. Said I had the flu. Claimed I was quarantining. They didn't push. Just paused. Then said, okay. I felt good. Defiant. Free. Until the phone rang a week later. My mother's voice was threadbare. Aunt Carol isn't doing well, she whispered. She's aging. Fast. I drove to her house. And when the door opened, I nearly staggered. A brittle old woman stood there. Her skin was gray, thin as paper. Hair patchy. Eyes sunken and glassy. She was 58. She looked 85. You didn't come, she rasped. Her grip on my arm was tight, desperate. Fingernails yellow and cracked. The stew. She leaned closer. Her breath smelled like copper and soil. Wasn't strong enough. It hit me in pieces, like glass sinking into skin. We don't have good genes. We have a curse, a disease, a rot that never stops, a force that eats us from the inside out, unless we feed it. The stew doesn't bless us. It barely sustains us. An ancestral horror stew made of bones and blood and grief, passed through generations. I wasn't spared. I was just next. The winter solstice looms. My mother called again. Casual tone. Frightened words. Your great-uncle's hands are too stiff to hold an axe. He plucked a gray hair, took a patch of skin with it. Then came the question. Soft. Soaked in something worse than guilt. Will you be coming home for the solstice? The silver box sits on my desk. Still open. Still waiting. The knife glints in the dim light like it knows me. I could go. Cut. Cry. Offer my sliver of self. Feed the rot. Strengthen the broth. Let them live, beautiful and bright and completely dependent on what's already dead. Or I could stay. Let them crumble. Let the decay catch up. And know every time I find a wrinkle, a loose tooth, a black spot on my skin, that it's coming for me too. Sometimes I stand in front of the pantry door, hand resting on the knob, listening. There's no wind, no voices, only a faint heartbeat, soft, steady, rooted in something deep beneath the floorboards. I don't open it. Not yet. Not tonight. But one day, I will. Because the decay is in me, and I'm getting hungry. We don't bury our dead. We boil them. And we don't get old. We just starve slower. Somewhere, wedged between Tennessee and Georgia, tucked into the cracks of a map that no longer lists it, is a state that should not exist. A state with a name carved from the tongue of the dead. Sequoia. I was born here. Lived here. Worked here. I have a driver's license. A birth certificate. But every day, it gets harder to prove we were ever real. This isn't a story about losing your mind. It's a story about watching the world lose you. It started like any normal day. Early shift. The smell of espresso and nutmeg. The soft whir of the grinder. I was behind the counter at Just a Sip, our little coffee shop in the capital city. Just Sequoia. We're not a tourist trap or anything, but in the fall, people come. Leaves like bloodstains on the mountains. Blue rich sunsets that haunt your sleep. She walked in with eyes wide like a kid who wandered into the wrong house. Blonde. Early 20s. Holding her phone like a compass that stopped pointing north. Welcome to Just a Sip, I said, smiling. Take a seat. I'll be right with you. I just need directions, she stammered. This place just? It's not on my GPS. That was the moment. The exact second things started slipping. I chuckled, trying not to sound rude. This is just. You're in the state of Sequoia. She blinked. I'm supposed to be in North Carolina. Sequoia? She repeated as if I'd said Mars. I pointed at the giant mural of the Southeast painted on the cafe wall. Our little state nestled snugly between Georgia, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. A proud legacy, 1868, right after the 14th Amendment. She looked sick. There's no such state, she whispered. Then she pulled out her phone. Her GPS jittered. Rerouting. Stalling. Roads appeared and vanished like static. Sequoia didn't show up. Tennessee touched North Carolina directly. We were gone. Not missing. Erased. I poured her coffee to calm her down. She took it like it was poison. What's your name? I asked gently. Ally. I'm Brenda. You okay? I shouldn't be here. I mean, I'm not supposed to be here. She stared at the floor like it might open up. You're safe. You're in Sequoia. Have you tried calling anyone? She nodded and dialed. Put her mom on speaker. Hi honey. You make it okay. Mom, what states border Georgia? Her mom rattled off. Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina. Nothing else. What about Sequoia? I asked. Silence. Then, what's that? Her mom asked, laughing. Ally looked at me like I'd lured her into hell. I pulled out the laminated tourist map. Red circles around local attractions. Little cartoon trees. The Sequoia state seal in the corner. She stared at it like it was an ancient curse. There's no Sequoia, she whispered. This isn't real. None of this is real. Ma'am, I said calmly. We've been a state for over a century. I've lived here my whole life. I pulled out my ID. State of Sequoia. Clear as day. She didn't believe me. She bolted, left her coffee, the map, everything. Got in her car. Sped off. Her taillights vanished into fog. I still remember the look in her eyes, like she saw the edge of the world, and I was pushing her off it. Thought it was a one-time thing. A weird fluke. A glitch in someone's phone, maybe. Until it happened again. And again. And again. Lost hikers. Confused truckers. Kids crying in gas stations. All asking, where am I? What's Sequoia? Why won't my GPS work? The border's gone fuzzy. People can still stumble into Sequoia, but no one ever plans to. And the ones who leave, they forget us. My best friend will used to run a gift shop down the block. You get the gist. Touristy crap. T-shirts. Coffee mugs. He shut it down 2 months ago. Not because of money, because the supplier stopped shipping. They claimed the address didn't exist. You're not in our system. There's no city named Gist. No such state. We stopped laughing at the puns after that. I saw her face again last week. Ally. On a missing person report. Disappeared during a trip north. Never made it. She called her mom. Her friends. Hundreds of calls. But none of the calls traced to a real location. No towers. No records. Just static. She didn't disappear. She just got swallowed. I called the hotline. Told them about Ally. About Gist. About Sequoia. The woman on the other end laughed. Sir, this is for real tips. Not prank calls. I'm not joking, I said. She hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, looking out the window at the downtown courthouse. American flag. Cherokee Nation flag. Sequoia flag. 3 shadows fluttering in wind that no one else can feel. Even online, it's vanishing. Every day, fewer results. No mentions of our senators. No pages on our history. It's like something is deleting us. From maps. From memories. From reality. I asked my cousin from Atlanta to visit. He said, Sequoia? That a resort or something? He was born here. If you're reading this, if this page somehow made it past the veil, remember, we existed. We still exist. We breathe. We bleed. We live. There are cities here. Mountains. Rivers. Families. Graves. Stories. We are not a myth. But something is making us one. If you ever find yourself driving through a stretch of woods where the leaves turn red too early, where the sky feels closer than it should, and your GPS starts to spin in circles, turn around. Do not stop. And above all, don't ask for directions in Gist. You might never leave. Or worse, you might forget you were ever here at all. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling horror tales. Your support keeps the darkness alive.